Okay, so it is being reported that the Eagles do, in fact, have a free agent cornerback on their radar. Meanwhile, this defensive player went from a rookie to the best at his position. And even I didn't know these were all the statistics behind it. So much to break down, including Nick Sirianni's message to the team. He was dropping bars. And another day, another disrespectful top 10 list, this time at the running back position. Huh? What is going on, everybody? I go by Philly Mike, and this is the Philly Talk Podcast. If you rock with our Philadelphia Eagles, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on that notification bell so you don't miss the videos. So, as we already know, the Philadelphia Eagles will have a joint practice with the Cleveland Browns. However, John McMullen tweeted yesterday the NFL makes it official. Eagles report to training camp on July 22nd and will hold a joint practice against the Browns on August 13th at the NovaCare Complex. This ain't the first joint practice with the Cleveland Browns, and it won't be the last one, but at least this time, we not going to Cleveland, they're coming to Philadelphia. Although it could be weird for two players, one on both sides, Kenny Pickett and DTR, who were traded for each other this offseason, they will go against their former teammates in joint practice. Moving on to an Eagles defensive player who was a rookie last year, had a shaky start to training camp, got healthy, came in strong, and now to start his second year in the NFL, ESPN named Cooper DeJean the best slot corner in the NFL, which should be no surprise to us as we watched him throughout the totality of the season. I mean, he was targeted 68 times and allowed 0 touchdowns the whole 2024 season as a rookie. This is what the ESPN analysts had to say. Yes, he's already there. DeJean spent the first month of his rookie season on the sideline, but after Philadelphia's Week 5 bye, his move into the starting lineup coincided with a massive defensive improvement. After ranking 26 in expected points added EPA per play on defense before the bye, the Eagles were comfortably the league's best defense by the same metric afterward. The second place Texans ranked closer to 13th than they did to first. Let that sink in, bro. The Eagles were first in that metric, the Texans were second, but they were closer to the 13th ranked team than the first team, Eagles. That's how far ahead of the pack we were. Now, Cooper DeJean wasn't the only reason the defense got better. Vic Fangio adjusted. The other rookie, Quinyon Mitchell, got better each game. Zach Bond, Nakobe Dean, and especially the defensive line. Everybody got better, but the addition of Cooper DeJean allowed Fangio to do different things and make everybody's job that much easier. Look at this chart Eagle Eric on Twitter posted. Cornerback man versus zone coverage grade, 400 plus snaps. Let's start with the zone coverage grade because the Eagles played a lot of zone. If you look at the Eagles during the cluster of teams, but they still rank in the top half in the NFL with zone coverage grades. As for man coverage grade, look who's number 1 and 2. Last year's rookies, Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Now I know that Vic Fangio don't play a lot of man coverage. However, after last year, maybe he plays more. I'm not saying he'll play more man coverage than zone coverage, but maybe the percent can go up a little bit, which will keep this Eagles defense more unpredictable. But of course, in Fangio we trust. Staying with the corner position, 21 hours ago, I put up a poll. How do you feel about Kelee Ringo starting? We got 3,100 votes. I gave 4 options. He ain't it, which was 4%. Not sure, which was 16%. Believe in him but nervous, which was 44%. And lastly, he's ready to ball out, which was 36%. On that note, again, I am a believer in Kelee Ringo. I'm going to say this again. He is younger than Quinyon Mitchell, and if Fangio trusts him, that makes me trust him that much more. However, while Jeremy Fowler was on 97.5 The Fanatic talking about the possibility of the Eagles being interested in JaireAlexander, who is no longer available, he's a Baltimore Raven, he also mentioned Asante Samuel Jr. He said, and I quote, Asante Samuel Jr., who is coming back from a neck injury. He's one of the top free agent corners. He probably won't sign until late July. I do know the Eagles have thought about that one, and that's on their radar as well. Again, nothing set in stone, and I do think the Eagles are satisfied with Kelee, Ringo, and Adoree Jackson. But for Jeremy Fowler to say that he knows that Asante Samuel Jr. is on the Eagles' radar is interesting. He also noted that because of the injury, he probably won't sign with any team until July. So the Eagles can really fill out Ringo and Adoree Jackson at least early in training camp where things start to ramp up before they make a decision. And if they do decide to bring in Asante Samuel Jr., it most likely will be a cheap 1 year prove it deal because of the injury. And that wouldn't necessarily mean that he starts right away. He would have to recover from the injury and prove he's better than not just Adoree Jackson, but also Kelee Ringo. The Eagles are never going to be a team that just hands somebody a starting job. They're going to make each player work for it. And again, more competition is better because if it's one-on-one or one-on-one, the winner proved worthy. Last year, before Quinyon Mitchell got on the field, people were thinking Kelee Ringo, Isaiah Rodgers, or even Bradbury early on in the offseason would win the spot opposite of Slay, especially when they started playing Quinyon Mitchell in the slot all through training camp because Cooper DeJean was hurt. And what happened was Quinyon Mitchell didn't talk, didn't complain, didn't use his first round status. He just balled out and rose to the occasion and won the starting job. Switching gears to another offseason top 10 list that don't really favor the Eagles, especially at this position. Pro Football Focus top 10 running backs per Dalton Wazerman, who's a Packer. If you know, you know. Now, granted, they're not saying running backs, they're saying running back units. Even still, number 1, the Baltimore Ravens, 2, the Detroit Lions, 3, the Atlanta Falcons, 4, the Philadelphia Eagles, and then the rest don't really matter. I understand that the Falcons and the Lions have a great duo, and I don't even know who the duo to the Ravens' Derrick Henry is. But Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley. Did people forget what we did last year while also letting him rest the last game of the season? And if A.J. Dillon is healthy, which multiple specialists said his neck is good and he has impressed during early OTAs, do you know what that combination is going to be like? Sheesh. I've been saving all these all-season lists. I'm talking quarterbacks, wide receivers, now running back duos, centers, cornerbacks, linebackers, and the Eagles stay disrespected. But when we start winning, they're going to go right to, it's a super team, it's a super team. It wasn't in the offseason, though. Anyways, it is what it is. Staying with Saquon Barkley, we heard him speak at his last press conference talking about him taking it easy this offseason. Not only was it his choice, it was his trainers and the Eagles staff told him to take it easy after the masterful year he had in 2024. That being said, once OTAs came, he started to ramp things up. And now that we got a month until training camp where things really get ramped up, look at him. He's back in the lab, putting in work. He sees the list. He hears the disrespect, and he's ready to go hard this year. It's his words. He said if you thought last year was good, wait till this year. Not me saying it. Saquon Barkley said it. NFL beware. You're in for a scare. If you know, you know. Lastly, I want to talk about Nick Sirianni's message to the team. Day 1 of OTAs, he was dropping bars.
So first I want to say the celebration is over, okay? The celebration is over, preparation is here. Celebration is over, preparation is here. As we continue through here, last year as we came into the 2024 season, there was a lot that we talked about of handling adversity. Now it's a little different. You got to handle success, right? It's a different animal, right? You got to handle success. Everyone right now, right, for the guys that have been here, are telling you how good you are. Treat praise like perfume. Sniff it, don't drink it. It's poison. Here we are, right? Here we are. We're in the off-season program. We're in the off-season program, right? We're not worried about this, right? We're not worried about this. We're not worried about this. There are so many steps you got to take before this happens. Notice I don't have a picture of last year. I don't have a picture of last year's mountain because when you're climbing a mountain, right? When you're climbing a mountain, you are solely focused on where you are. You never look back. ever.
Hey, bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Yeah. Hey, man, make this the best day of the week, man. Dogs on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dogs.
Man, oh man, oh man. He said treat praise like a perfume. Sniff it. Don't drink it. It's poison. This team enjoyed the offseason, you can tell, but their focus is back locked in, making sure they get better 1% every single day. With all that being said, I go by Philly Mike, and it's the Philly Talk Podcast. Do your boy a favor, hit the like, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the videos and the live streams. Until next time, you know what time it is. Muscle up for Philly Strong. I love hearing from y'all for sure. We out.